All right. Yes. Hello, Internet. Welcome to 2016. Hope your holidays were nice and merry. You are now tuned in to Fantasy Football Fiesta, the best fantasy football podcast on earth, with the word Fiesta in the title. I am your host, Tardell Mims. I am available at my Twitter, AVO Alpha Supreme. Hashtag me with anything on this planet. I'll respond to you. But for this show specifically, you can go to hashtag FFF. That'll leave you at least 136 more characters to say something to me with. All right. I have two co-hosts with me. Co-host number one, Jason. Introduce yourself.
Yo, everybody. What up? Jason here. You can reach me at the Twitter. It's the at SDChargerFN96. Great year. Pound us up at FF Fiesta, www.fantasyfootballfiesta.com. Fantasyfootballfiesta.com. Awesome. Tweet us. Message us. Let us know what we're doing. We want to know. We want to hear from you. Boom. I'm out.
No, you have to stick around for the rest of the podcast, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're not done just quite yet. So just
Peace, I'm out.
Okay, I'll stay.
Peace.
I'll stay then.
Outro. What? All right.
Drop it.
Yeah. Next up, Jason. I mean, not Jason. We already did you. You left. All right, Aaron. Introduce yourself to the people.
What's up, everybody? My name is Aaron Dion. I'm a resident Bronco fan, and we just secured the 1 seed, so I'm pretty stoked on life right now. Maybe don't necessarily deserve it. We're a little bit underrated, but I like it. You can hit me up on the Twitters. I am at ABolofAaron. You can tweet me. You can hashtag me. Follow me. Share me. You know the deal.
Share me.
Share me. Pass me around.
Like a dude.
Doobie.
Oh, man. Like the dirty little whore that you are.
That's it.
Right. So, everybody, this is the... wow, what's happened to my mic? Like, somebody just took it way out of the way. The most awkward spot possible. All right. So
Is it in your ass?
I said the most awkward spot possible.
And that's where my mind went.
Well, there you go.
That'd be awkward. Just saying.
Yeah, that's exactly where it is. All right, so 2015 is officially in the books. Interesting season, very odd season, but a lot of coaching carousels. I wonder. Here's a question: where does Johnny Manziel end up? Is he in Dallas? They need a better QB backup than what they have now, or do they ride with Kellen Moore?
Can we take a shot before we start talking about this crap?
Oh, that's right. Sorry, everybody.
Whoa! You failed us as a host.
I'm fine. Listen,
You're still hungover from your birthday.
You hoe.
What's going on?
Maybe. I'm trying to slow it down here. So, sorry about that.
You don't want to start with 5 shots?
No, we're not doing that today. Listen, we also like to talk fantasy football here as we drink, as those of you will know, and those of us tune us at the end of the season for the first time. We'll drink. We like to either chug or just take a nice celebratory shot in the beginning of the show. We also drink for various reasons throughout the show, so we get drunk or just a little buzzed up on a Tuesday night, talking fantasy football. What else is there to do on Tuesday? So you can take a drink with Team Aaron, Team Jason, Team Tarnell. We're going to take our first drink. Hold on, let me back up here and get a little bit out of the light. The away cup for the away game play.
This is the shot for the bye week.
Cheers. Fiesta. We like watching the games from the couch.
Finishing my
Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
my 13.8% wine.
Vino.
That did
All right.
that did me good last week.
Yeah. You just needed a pillow. You'd have been perfect.
Man, I went back and watched some of that. That's an interesting episode. I don't know.
Interesting to say the least.
That's the least. At the most, it was amazing.
It definitely was. I was amazed by it, I'll tell you that.
I was like, blah, 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 blah. And then I said that Jason was going to commit Harry Carey on the live on the internet if the Chargers didn't win.
You know what? We would definitely get some traffic.
Yeah, that's what you said. You said that we would get all the views if that happened.
All the views. Am I supposed to take off my pants now, or do I wait?
Just whenever. I mean, the internet. It happens all the time.
Perfect. Get excited, ladies. It's about to happen.
All right. We're earning that explicit link again.
But at the very beginning, this is what's going to happen right now. I want to get into it, and then we can get into all the talks of early 2016 predictions, playoff talk, all that other stuff. I jumped the gun a little bit talking about Johnny Manziel, but here we go. We're going to go to the All-Burrito team. These are got multiple. They had multiple showings on the burrito segment of the show. Pretty much, if you got these guys, they will not do you wrong. So these are this is the All-Burrito Squad for 2015.
That's how you win championships.
For quarterbacks, we got Cam Newton, Tom Brady, Blake Bortles, Kirk Cousins, and Carson Palmer. Some honorable mentions are Breeze, Stafford, Eli Manning, and Russell Wilson. It was really interesting because there were some people that soared in the beginning, some people soared at the end, some people were consistent throughout. Newton, Bortles, Cousins were kind of back and forth throughout the season. It was interesting. Running backs. This was one of the weaker positions this year, even though traditionally it's like the strongest position. But I had Devontae Freeman, Todd Gurley, Sharkandrick West, D'Angelo Williams, and Adrian Peterson. The only person on that list that makes any sense is Adrian Peterson. I mean, Gurley you kind of suspected, but it's like Sharkandrick West was on there more than I actually expected him to be.
Right.
It shows how early Jamal Charles went down. D'Angelo Williams did good because Le'Veon Bell was hardly on there at all. And Devontae Freeman was killing it at the beginning of the season and continued to throughout the year. Well, they didn't kill it, but he appeared on there enough to actually be like, hey, that's a guy to pick up. Wide receivers, we got Antonio Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Allen Robinson, and Odell Beckham Jr. Honorable mentions, Alan Hearns, Doug Baldwin, Brandon Marshall. Those guys were pretty solid there. For tight ends, you got Gronk, Gary Barnidge, Tyler Eifert, Jordan Reed, Delaney Walker, and Greg Olsen. Those last two were kind of iffy because they were sporadic. But a lot of times with all these guys I'm mentioning, they either were all on the burrito list at the same time or just multiple appearances. Sometimes those were all the people that were on the list. It was quite interesting going back and looking through all the burrito lists that I did throughout the year. Kickers, Cairo Santos, Justin Hopkins, Josh Brown, Steve Gostkowski, Chris Boswell, Brandon McManus. This one was a little bit difficult to see. This one also was sporadic throughout the year, but these were the people that did the best, that had the most appearances on the burrito list. Defense special teams was Kansas City, Arizona, Denver, Seattle, and Carolina. So that is your All-Burrito Squad for 2015. Get everybody any kind of damn burrito they want. Who the hell cares? All good. There's no bad burrito.
Fiesta!
Fiesta! All right. So that's the All-Burrito Squad. So, speaking of that list that I just mentioned, how many of those do you think will be successful? And you're just looking right now as the season just ended, drafting in 2016. There's a few people I'm kind of concerned about. Sharkandrick West and D'Angelo Williams, to be specific, because they're like fill-ins for injuries. So I don't know what their roles will be going forward. If you have a healthy Le'Veon Bell and a healthy Jamal Charles, what roles Sharkandrick West and D'Angelo Williams are going to play on their respective teams, provided they stay on the teams that they're with right now?
Yeah, that's the one thing I would need to take a look. I don't know where these guys are in their contract situations. D'Angelo Williams, I think, was just a year-to-year guy there, right? And Sharkandrick West, I think, is serving out a rookie contract. D'Angelo Williams is probably going to find work somewhere else. Sharkandrick West is probably still going to be the backup there. I can't really see him going anywhere else. But you never know. They could try to trade him for a draft pick. I would say of the two that Sharkandrick West has more upside and more chance to do well in the long term. But if you're looking just for next year, Probably D'Angelo Williams finds himself somewhere else, but I don't see him playing to the level that he's played in Pittsburgh.
Even if they stay on the same teams that they're in now, it'd be good fantasy-wise to pick them up as handcuffs late in the draft. So
for sure.
Put some notes in there and definitely look at some handcuffs. Obviously, as running backs, you can tell you need handcuffs, so make sure you get the handcuffs for the star players you have.
Yeah, it's man, running back was rough. Either if you weren't injured, you just weren't fucking performing. I mean, people we thought they would be great at the beginning. There was names like Jeremy Hill, Eddie Lacy. Jesus, who else was there?
I'm putting together some data on that.
DeMarco Murray.
DeMarco Murray was a damn explosion.
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch, LaShawn McCoy. There's a lot of guys that were good last year that this year just underperformed.
Well, while we're talking about it, I actually put together that list that I was talking about last week. And I got the running backs right in front of me. The top 10 that we thought going into the draft were going to be great. The top 10 coming out. And there's not a lot of similarity between the two lists.
Go ahead.
Let me look and just see the similarities here. I only see one instantly here. I'll just rattle them off. So pre-draft, and this varies a little bit. I mean, you asked everybody before the draft, there'll be a little bit of variance, but for the most part, the same names were popping up. Number one, or near the top of everybody's list, was Le'Veon Bell. Without the injury, the guy, he was suspended the first 2 weeks of the year. And then he got injured week 7 or 8, so the guy only ended up playing a few weeks. But definitely is not on the list coming out as anybody that helped you win a fantasy football championship this year. Number 2, Adrian Peterson. That guy actually is on the performing list, and I think he is the only one of the top 10 that made it over. Oh, no, one other. So Adrian Peterson, Eddie Lacy, number 3 on my list, Jamal Charles, number 4, Marshawn Lynch, C.J. Anderson, Matt Forte, DeMarco Murray, LaShawn McCoy, and Jeremy Hill. Those were the top 10 going into the season that we all kind of thought those guys were the hot shit, and most of those guys win in the first round of most drafts. Coming out of the season, we got number 1, Devontae Freeman, number 2, Adrian Peterson, number 3, Doug Martin, number 4, D'Angelo Williams, number 5, Lamar Miller, and that guy stunk up the boat for the first half of the year, so that's maybe somebody to watch for next year if he can keep it going. Rookie Todd Gurley, he was the rookie that ended up coming to the top of the heap. David Johnson, Chris Ivory, Matt Forte, and Devontae Freeman. So of those top 10, only 2 ended up in the top 10 at the end of the season.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy. You know, we were talking a lot of shit about drafting quarterbacks early, but a lot of those guys ended up being pretty big busts for one reason or another. Whether it was injury or just underperformance, DeMarco Murray, C.J. Anderson just didn't show up at all. Le'Veon Bell got hurt. Jamal Charles got hurt. Marshawn Lynch has been hurt. So, been a crazy year for the running backs. Meanwhile, over on the quarterback list, about half of them ended up finishing where we expected. But that, you got your top 5 to 10 quarterbacks that kind of rise to the top every year.
Right. I should add these guys to the honorable mention list for running backs. Was people you guys mentioned: Chris Ivory, Doug Martin, and David Johnson. It's interesting though because David Johnson was the emergence of Andre Ellington and Chris Johnson, both injured. And this is why when I brought up Chris Johnson, I had a feeling, because I knew Andre Ellington was a little injury prone. He's good, but he's injury prone. And that's the one thing is when you look at it is injuries and who can emerge from the backfield. It's always interesting to just kind of look at teams and see who's got somebody stashed in the background that maybe wasn't, that you were not sure if they're fully washed up yet or not, to see what comes of it. Because all you need is a shot, and then you can always prove yourself again, or you can just end up being, great for the first time. So that's interesting. Did you do anything like that with wide receivers, or did you see the same?
Yeah, I got the same list of wide receivers right in front of me.
All right, let's hit it.
Again, very different list. There's a little bit more similarities between the two, but pretty different. Antonio Brown, number 1 on both lists. Going into he was the guy, and Jason can attest with his fucking championship. You drafted Antonio Brown in the first round. That was between him and Adrian Peterson. Those were the 2 first-round picks that actually paid off where we thought they were. So Antonio Brown, number 1 on both lists. Now, going into the draft, we thought Demaryius Thomas was going to be number 2. It's probably because we thought Peyton Manning was going to be a good quarterback. Des Bryant, number 3. Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson, A.J. Green, Randall Cobb, Alshon Jeffries, and T.Y. Hilton rounding out the general consensus for top 10 wide receivers. Coming out of the season, Antonio Brown, like I said, number 1. Julio Jones, number 2. He was on our pre-draft list. Brandon Marshall, he snuck in out of nowhere. Odell Beckham ended right where we thought he would at number 4. Well, where everybody else thought he would. I'm on record as thinking a little bit different, but we won't talk about that. Allen Robinson, out of nowhere. And then Jason's favorite, DeAndre Hopkins, but not in the top 5. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, he was just outside of.
Yeah, no, I was rooting for him. It was him and Allen Robinson, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, the Jacksonville squad just came up, and I'm telling you, they feels like they need just a couple pieces on defense, like 1 or 2 pieces, like just a couple of anchors, and like a solid run game. That team is a problem and a half.
Well, they've got that rookie running back that doesn't appear to have bad, so.
Yeah.
You don't have the points, do you, Aaron? The point difference between 5th and 4th?
No, I don't have the points in front of me. I just have the list.
Yeah. I know it was, like, super close, because I think that D-Hop just needed a touchdown and probably 80 yards. I think he only got the 80 yards and no touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is what it is. I mean, you were definitely right. He was a premier wide receiver. It just so happens that I'm still a little bit better.
Damn it.
Yeah, you suck at everything. Mm-hmm. Doug Baldwin came screaming from nowhere in the last half of the season to find himself on this list. A.J. Green is about where we thought he was. Larry Fitzgerald is kind of back from old man status. And Brandon Cooks, we haven't really talked about him much this year, but he's there at number 10.
He was too sporadic.
Yeah, that's what it was. He had an appearance or 2 on the burrito list, but not enough to put him like All-Burrito Squad. And so I looked at it like he was there, but just not enough. Like I think the problem is he's on New Orleans and it's sporadic and have like 5 million wide receivers that Breeze likes to throw to. So
yeah, exactly. Who knows? Yeah, and the only other thing that I thought was kind of interesting when I was putting this together was in the quarterback rankings. You know, we talked so much about drafting a quarterback early. Cam Newton, number 10 overall on our pre-draft list. So, you know, if you're in a 12-man league, you're getting him way late. He's after guys like Matt Ryan and Tony Romo. But he finished number 1. So you drafted right if you win Antonio Brown and you got yourself Cam Newton in the late rounds.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Or Blake Bortles.
Yeah, Blake Bortles ended up, number 7? I should have numbered these. 8, number 8 overall on my quarterback list under Kirk Cousins, who also was nowhere near anybody's radar at the beginning of the year.
Right.
So a lot of these top 10s that you're talking about, the actual top 10s were coming from losing teams. And these losing teams, or 500 or below teams, and a lot of these teams are going to get new coaches this next year. So when you are looking at ranking your top 10 for each position next year, you're going to have to see what kind of coach it is, what their scheme is, and it might change. It might, you can't just go with who was hot this past year. It might totally change.
Oh, no, yeah, this is just early talk.
Yeah.
This is just based off what just happened. Let's see what happens going forward.
At quarterback, I don't know that I necessarily agree. Kirk Cousins and Blake Bortles had themselves phenomenal years, and the Redskins won their division, and the Jaguars just barely missed the playoffs. So I wouldn't say either one of those guys had losing seasons. Now they're coming off of losing seasons, so they were nowhere near anybody's top 10 coming into next year. But I think the lesson there is, to take a look at some of the talented quarterbacks next year. A talented quarterback that's on a losing team that got some early draft picks, maybe has a new coach. That's the guy you want to pick up, with your second QB pick.
Because I really didn't choose him as my first QB. My first QB was Roethlisberger, but just was injured. Bortles was my bye week fill-in. That's what I predicted him as, and he ended up beating my fucking horse at QB. Like he helped me out. From what I understand, Shad Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, I guess has faith in the coaches, giving him another year. So it looks like that coach is staying there. And
I think he should.
And it looks like they're going to try and give it another go. I mean, like you said, there were a couple games out from actually taking that AFC South that nobody really wanted to win. I mean, if they would have beat New Orleans, and if they would have beat the Chargers, like I think they could have beat those two teams, and they should have. That Texans game would have. They probably still would have lost that Texans game because Texans D got really hot at the end. But I feel like they probably maybe would have played that a little differently because they would have actually had a chance to win that game and had a chance to be in the playoffs. Maybe they come out a little differently in that game. But I do like them again next year. I feel like Bortles will be a little bit smarter if he goes and studies film and see where because he's had a couple of like numbnuts plays towards the end of the games, a couple games which lost them games. If he cleans a couple of his little mistakes up, that's going to be a team to reckon with. Yeah, so there's that.
Yeah, and I would argue that they already are. Ball bounces a couple ways, somebody picks up a fumble that they didn't get. Those are momentum shifters, and that changes the whole game. So I think that they're on the come up, and I think they're looking good going into next year.
Yeah, they definitely are. I wonder how Tampa Bay also will be next year with Jameis. It's like we're talking about. Blake Bortles is what, like 2-3 years in, like 3 years in. You got Jameis Winston in his rookie year. Let's see what he does with Tampa Bay next year. Marcus Mariota. Let's see what happens with him. I think that's a coaching vacancy there though in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see who goes there. Let's see what happens with Blaine Gabbert and the 49ers because they seem to be figuring a little something out at the end, but they fired their coach. So let's see who goes in there. Let's see if they can actually put something together.
Yeah, that one's going to be interesting to watch too because I saw some shit out of Blaine Gabbert that I hadn't seen before.
Right.
I actually think
he was
that's
the guy
who.
Yeah, he was the guy who he used to be in Jacksonville, lost his job to Blake Bortles. But it seems that he seemed to find a little comfort in Vance McDonald, the tight end there. So I wonder if those two kind of come up and become a bit of a nice duo there, nice quarterback tight end duo up in Frisco.
Mm-hmm. I think that's another one of those situations like I talked about because Vernon Davis was their tight end and he's gone now doing jack shit in Denver. But you've got the backup QB throwing at one of the guys that was on the secondary team. So they've already got chemistry coming in. So right. I think when you get that kind of thing going on, and suddenly some shit starts to happen, and both of them elevate each other.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I was gonna say that I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners draft a quarterback too, and that might elevate Gabbert's. I wouldn't be surprised if they drop Kaepernick, and then Gabbert competes with the rookie quarterback that comes in, because there's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out of the draft. So I think that might be something to look at too.
I was sitting there wondering who needs a QB though. Like, who really needs a QB in the league?
I would say Houston.
Because
Houston is where I predict Peyton Manning is ending up next year.
Oh wow!
I think he thinks he's got one more year. I don't know that he necessarily does. I don't think that Denver's going to keep him with that $20 million cap hit. And I think the most likely landing spot for him is Houston.
I think it's an executive job somewhere.
I think he should, but I don't know that necessarily that he will. And I guess it also depends how this playoff season or this playoff run goes.
Yeah.
Cleveland needs a quarterback.
Yeah. Who?
Cleveland.
Yeah. And well, I was thinking about this because I was sitting there trying to figure out with the security guy that works at the building I work at. We always talk football. He's a Cowboys fan, but we always sit there and joke with stuff. We were trying to figure out where does RG3 go. But I don't see him staying in Washington. So who needs a quarterback? And it's like, okay, the usual suspects have quarterbacks. So Tampa Bay has Jameis Winston. Tennessee's got Marcus Mariota. Jacksonville's got Blake Bortles.
He needs to go to a team that has a good O-line because if he can't get protected, he's going to get hit and he's going to get hurt again.
Yeah, he's just going to be constantly hurt.
The QB. Does he go as a backup to Dallas? Minnesota's got somebody. Arizona's got some. Minnesota, Green Bay has one. Obviously, Chicago's got a person. Detroit's got a person.
I think Dallas is a very legit possibility for a landing spot for him.
Well, the only team I know that doesn't have. God damn, what's going on in my eye? I got a splashback of wine in my eye. It's messing me up. The only team I know that doesn't have a good QB is Cleveland. I think everybody else kind of has a QB.
Well, Houston, Aaron's right. Houston, Cleveland, and who was the other one? And Dallas. Dallas does have. I'd probably say Houston or Cleveland.
Dallas needs to get better backup than what they have. They have Tony Romo, who the argument about we need a better quarterback needs to go out the window because they were shit without him, and they need him to have any shot of winning any game.
Mhm.
So the shit talking to Romo needs to go away because he clearly proved his absence proved they can't do shit without him.
Yeah.
So there's that. So they keep Romo upright, they're fine, but they need a better backup than what they have. Let's see. So you got that. Cleveland, of course. Houston. I mean, I guess Hoyer is very replaceable. But outside of that, I don't know if there's anyone else in the NFL that's hunting for a Q or desperate for a QB. I think San Francisco kind of looks at what they have in Blaine Gabbert, and they might actually, like you said, Aaron, you saw some stuff that you haven't seen out of him before, and maybe this is a good fit for him, and maybe he's found a spot. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, like you said, Jason, there's a lot of QBs coming out of this draft. I haven't followed college this year, so I'm not 100% sure. But I do know that of teams that are out there that need for QB, I don't know how many people really need one. They may be looking one for the future or a good or backup, but actual need to we need to draft a QB in round one. I think Houston and Cleveland are the only two teams out there that need that.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I was about to throw Denver's hat into the mix there until you said round one need. I believe in Brock Osweiler. Don't get me wrong. I think that he's got what it takes.
They need a backup for him because Manning's not going to stick around.
Right, but it's also when we're talking about potential landing spots for quarterbacks, you can't necessarily rule them out of the conversation. When it comes to places where, a quality quarterback is going to look to go. But RG3, I don't see RG3, especially with as shitty as our O-line has been.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you have someone as young as Brock Osweiler, you're not going to draft a quarterback to be his backup. You're going to find a veteran guy who can go in there and study the playbook, and if he needs to be in there in a pinch, he can get in there.
Right.
Yeah, if they believe in him 100%. I'm not in the meeting, so I don't know if they do. I think he's no. Yeah, I mean they call me afterwards, and I get the notes, but I'm not there for all the nitty gritty shit.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. That's what I look at as far as quarterback. I think a lot of people need to go O-line and running back, and then whoever has defensive needs do defensive needs. We need another fucking speed guy. Is who Green Bay needs because we need speed all over the place. I was talking with a coworker, and we were talking about what's going on. And for me, he said that Green Bay didn't look explosive, and that's been my problem all year. Well, it's been my problem since the Charger game.
Yeah, that was it.
Is everybody's team looks faster than us on both sides of the ball. Like their DBs and linebackers are just standing waiting around for our wide receiver core to get there, and just they're blanketing everybody we have. And every wide receiver has a step or two on our defensive players and our DBs and our linebackers. We're just not that damn fast. I think we might be the slowest team in the NFL.
I thought your receivers were pretty fast. I thought
No, you know what it ultimately was? Ultimately, our white guy was fast and opened it up for everybody else. Jordy Nelson was fast, and everyone else just he spread out the defense to give everyone else a little bit of room and space. He took away a lot of attention. No one else is that damn fast.
I actually forgot about that.
The slowest fucking team on the NFL, I swear to God. I'll be shocked if we beat Washington.
Yeah, Washington's hot.
I feel like Sean Jackson's going to fucking burn us for at least 2 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Washington's one of those teams. Washington and Pittsburgh are those teams that are hot at the end, and you got to watch out for those kind of teams.
Yeah.
I think Pittsburgh's screwed without D'Angelo Williams, though, because he's done, right?
No,
he's not done.
He's dead.
I thought I saw he was.
Nope.
No, I didn't hear that he was done. It looked like he was done when that happened, because I saw that injury. I was like, oh, shit. But it's not nearly as bad as they made it out to be. I feel, and I was talking about this again with other people, and everyone seems to agree with me that I've talked about this with, that even though they're the AFC North title and they have a home game, that if the Bengals win, it'll be an upset. Given their past history in the playoffs, and given what happened in Week 16 when Steelers went into Cincinnati and beat them handedly, I feel Bengals winning this game is an upset.
I almost think that Pittsburgh can sit D'Angelo Williams this week and still beat Cincinnati.
I feel like they might be able to too.
AB's just gonna light them up.
Yeah. There's that. Let's see. We've got what's the other games that's happening this week? So we've got that. I just remembered like a couple weeks back, Seattle went into Minnesota and fucking walked all over them like 35-7. So I don't know what difference is going to happen this game. Maybe they learned something, maybe they didn't. But I feel like Seattle is going to win that game. It really depends on what team comes out against Washington. I feel if we come out hungry and like in the playoff environment ready to go, then we have a chance. But the thing is, Washington's playing like everything to this point is fucking icing on the cake, and no one respects it anyway. So let's just fucking ball out. Who cares? They're not really thinking about it, so it's good. It's working for them. So they've got a good chance to win. And the last game,
Kansas City
Texans.
God, that's the most interesting game of the weekend, I think.
I think I'm going to be a Kansas City fan for the AFC. I wouldn't mind seeing them go.
Because KC, they're both defenses are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Their offenses are, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Defense wins championship.
I know it's so. That's the most difficult one to call.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's going to be Steelers, Seahawks, Redskins. Is how I'm looking at the season, and I don't know what to do about the. And that's just me not being like a home run fan, just being an honest football analyst here that I am, professional here on Fantasy Football Fiesta. The game I can't call is the KC Houston game.
You know what's interesting?
I'm confused about.
What's interesting is Kansas City is favored by 3 in this game, and they're away at Houston. It's pretty interesting.
Huh.
That never happens. I mean,
yeah.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh man. The thing is, if Casey's offense, oh god, the problem is both their offenses are like, yeah. So it's like if the defenses are on point, that's gonna be like a fucking 9-3 game. That's gonna be like a battle.
Matter of fact, every away team is favored in this week. Huh.
Really?
Yeah. Every away team is favored this week.
That's
we're favored?
weird.
Yeah, you're favored by 1.
Yeah, see, it's iffy, man. Because our shirt there is kind of full of holes.
I've never seen that before.
What? You never see your shirt being full of holes? That's our defense. Yeah. Right there over your shoulder, buddy.
No, the away team's being favored, jackass.
I don't know.
This is my going out shirt, man. You like it?
Oh, yeah.
I should have brought this on Sunday.
How about to say that should have been your Sunday shirt. Oh man, yeah. I'm looking at the playoff picture, and I don't know. Okay, so I'm calling. Let's see. We are the 5th seed, right, or the 6th seed? What seed are we? I don't even know what seed we are.
I don't know. 6?
I know what seed Denver is.
Yeah, well, let's see here. Let's see.
Unseeded?
Because Pittsburgh's the 6th seed, so if they win, they go to you.
Yep.
That should be interesting.
The only team that we don't have a chance of playing is the Bengals. So depending on how it all shakes out, we got the Chiefs, the Texans, or the Steelers. I'd love to get the Steelers or the Chiefs back in town.
Well,
we owe both of them a bitch slap.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're gonna get that against the Steelers, bro. Like I really think that'll fuck you up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This one's in Denver.
And
And we went up to well, if we can play a full 60 minutes, I mean, we went up on them, what, 27-3 or some shit?
The problem is you don't play a full 60 minutes, and Pittsburgh eats people alive in the second half of the fucking of the game. Yeah, because you know what else was in Denver? Baltimore was in Denver. And
that's right.
What happened with them?
Yeah, bring bullshit.
Yeah, cause
that was like double overtime. Give me a break. Old shit. Moving on.
Was that just last year?
Nah, it was like 3 years ago.
It still happened.
It did happen. It happened.
This is something that's interesting. I noticed with scheduling.
We got a much better defense than we had back then.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right, so wild card weekend, Saturday is AFC day, Sunday is NFC day. I don't think they've ever done that before. They usually split them. That's interesting. So we'll know Saturday what's going with the AFC, and Sunday we'll figure out what's going with the NFC. So I think we are the 6th seed for some reason. Who's the 6th seed? Because wait, Washington's the 4th. No, we're the 5th seed because Washington would be the 4th seed as far as. Yeah, Washington's the 4th seed. So we're the 5th seed. So Seattle winning sends them to Carolina, which means we end up at Arizona. Fucking A, that's not gonna be good.
That's not good for either one of you teams.
No, it's really not. God damn.
I would love to see a Carolina-Arizona championship game.
Well, we might see it. The interesting thing is how would Seattle care? So that's what I'm calling the NFC. My brag is it ends up Seattle beats Minnesota. Green Bay. Let's say we actually squeak out a win against Washington. Either one. Green Bay or Washington goes to Arizona. Seattle loses to Carolina. I see them losing to Carolina. So I see Carolina-Arizona NFC Championship. On the AFC side of things, I'm looking at, let's see, who's the 6th seed there? KC or Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's the 6th seed, yeah. So they go to Denver. I'm gonna say Houston goes to New England.
And then New England comes to Denver.
No.
And Denver goes to San Francisco.
Oh, no.
No, my friend, no.
Houston goes. Oh, Houston. Wait. Pittsburgh ends up at Houston, my friend. That's what happens in the AFC.
No. Oh, for the championship?
For the championship.
No.
Good city in division weekend in the AFC.
I wonder how bad Tom Brady's ankle sprain is. They said it's a bad high ankle sprain.
Well, we'll see. If it is really bad, Houston could come in there and just D them up.
Yeah, seriously.
J.J. Watt gonna have something to say about that.
Give him the D.
Give them the D. We're the real big D. Check it out. Oh, that's dirty.
That's nasty.
SD Charger FN96. So, yeah, I think like the AFC will shake up a lot. That's what I'm thinking. I think the NFC is pretty locked into what it is, but I think the AFC is very volatile. I really do think Pittsburgh at Houston and Pittsburgh ends up in the Super Bowl. I think it'd be Pittsburgh against Carolina.
You're tripping.
And I wouldn't sleep on Seattle. Marshawn Lynch is coming back. I wouldn't sleep on Seattle.
I know Carolina's the one team that can handle Seattle because they've done it before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be a good game.
Because if it ends up being Seattle-Arizona, Arizona's fucking toast.
Yeah, I think NFC has the better league conference this year.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, Carolina, with Carolina winning. Carolina is Super Bowl 50.
That'd be awesome. That'd be Ron Rivera, old Charger.
I'm fine with that.
Well, you know the rule. Chargers get rings.
They do.
I want somebody new to win. That's what I want. I just want a new face winning winning.
So, out of all these teams, who hasn't won a Super Bowl yet? Houston hasn't won one.
Houston, Cincinnati, Arizona, and Carolina.
Okay.
Everyone else is or maybe Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota as well.
I don't think
Kansas City has.
I think KC has a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they won early ones.
Long time ago.
Yeah, well, it's been a while. Like, if they win, it's okay, because it's been forever.
I don't think Minnesota has one either.
No, I don't think they have.
No, they definitely haven't.
So a team that hasn't won one would be awesome to win it.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking for.
Go Panthers, go. That'll be my new team, the Panthers.
Wait, when does San Diego file their relocation papers?
They just did yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
They really?
They'll find out on the 12th or 13th what's going on.
That's what it was. Okay, I thought it was the 13th, but no.
Yeah, Kansas City won Super Bowl 4.
4. Nice.
Oh, then they're good. They're good. They're fine. They
got their ring.
They're good. Everyone's dead on the team. They're good.
Let's see. Minnesota made it, and they beat Minnesota. Minnesota also lost Super Bowl 8. They lost Super Bowl 9.
Oh, wow. A lot of Super Bowls. I don't want them to make it anymore.
They lost Super Bowl 11. They make it. They just haven't won.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then there's the 98. Where was the one where the kicker fucked it up?
That they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. That was just
That was
that was the NFC.
it was in
I
'99.
remember that.
Yeah, that was when the Falcons ended up beating them, and then the Broncos won their second. Yeah, that was when they had fucking Chris Carter, Randy Moss. They went like 15-1, and then fucking missed a field goal in the championship.
Yeah, 34-19. That's what it was.
Wow.
Denver beat Atlanta.
Yeah,
The Dirty Bird.
I remember that one. That one was pretty fun too. Not as good as the one before.
Fuck that one before.
But it was in Jack Murphy Stadium. Come on, it was nice.
Kill yourself. All right.
It was a good local win.
I don't know about that. Yeah. So let me see here. Oh wow, that's funny. Yep. So yeah, that's what they. Yeah. So yeah, Minnesota has not won one. They've been in it about 3 or 4 times, but they have not won one.
I don't
Yep.
want that to win.
I already told you that.
Then, yeah, no Carolina, no Houston, no Cincinnati. Cincinnati's been in it, but it's been a long time since they've been in it.
Yeah, 49ers kicked the shit out of them one year.
Yeah, it was. Shit. What
That was back in like the late 80s. I remember that one. Yeah, 89.
They didn't kick the shit out of them. It was close.
Oh, that's right.
20-16, 1989.
Whatever. That was like 11. It was-
Wow. Four. No. Who got the shit kicked out of them with Denver?
Oh yeah, that's what we do. We either win the Super Bowl or we lose it in the most horrific fashion ever.
Yeah. The year before that one, you got your ass kicked here in San Diego, 42-10 to the Redskins.
We don't bring that one up.
Redskins don't need to really win, so they're good. And then the year after that, Bengals 49ers won. You got your ass kicked by the 49ers in New Orleans, 55-10.
I remember.
And then the Bills went on a four Super Bowl rampage of losing.
Yeah, they did. I remember that too. And then the Chargers appeared.
Yep.
I told you, Super Bowls were always in San Diego in the 90s.
Oh, I remember. If they build a new stadium, they'd be here every 3 years again.
Because you know where it rotated between for the most part? It was
San Diego and Tampa, wasn't it?
It was San Diego,
Miami,
and New Orleans is where they rotated them. And then they stuck a couple of things here, like the Rose Bowl in Atlanta, and Minnesota had one. The Buffalo Redskins ones, which I don't remember, but that was in Minnesota for some dumb reason. But yeah, everyone else was just like, here or there.
Yeah, they like to keep it in the warm weather, so it kind of goes back and forth between California and Florida. But I remember, 15 years ago, when it was here last time, when the Raiders and the Buccaneers were playing, the announcers were saying that, man, this is such a beautiful city for a Super Bowl. They just need a new stadium. Stadium is old and run down, and if they make a new stadium, we'd be here every couple of years. Right. That was 15 fucking years ago.
They've been here three different times for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was back in 2003. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I almost had my first kid.
Oh,
congrats.
I'm just looking at that, like, he was a couple months away from being born. He was like a month and a week away from being born.
98, 03, and 78. Oh, no. 88, 98, and 03.
That 98 one was bullshit.
Yeah. It was fun.
Bullshit.
98 was just a bullshit year.
All right.
I don't know why you're so angry at 98. 98 was a good one. This is going to be a lot like that one. Everyone's counting Denver out, and we're going to sneak in and be like, we're going to take this one. Nobody saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Brock Osweiler, the MVP. Cam will be the MVP. It'll be Carolina. Just mark my word.
No, you're dumb.
That's fine. Well, I don't know about you fucks, but I plan on broadcasting from Sev's house during the big game, and we can talk about it then.
Let's do it.
Pardon me. I'm totally down for that.
Well, your team's not going to be playing. I'm not doing that.
You'll be on the couch sitting right next to him. You might as well.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm broadcasting, and you will be upset. All right.
Peyton Manning's going to get his second ring from the bench.
He won't. Yeah, he's like, I played the last one. I saw what happened. I'm not doing it this time.
Yeah.
Playing on the bench, it feels so good. I'm gonna have my chicken parm right now.
I hear it's pretty fucking funny when they serve chicken parm at like the fucking practice or whatever.
Oh,
God.
Like when catering brings that around.
chicken.
That's terrible.
Yeah, the entire team singing that all day long.
Oh,
Turn out. Do you have a count on our beer fund?
our beer fund?
Yeah, we don't have any money towards our beer fund. No one's supporting us.
No one's supporting that I know of. Aaron, you should check our Patreon. I know I, for one, during the Christmas season, use our Patreon link a few times.
Oh, did you?
Not our Patreon link. I use our Amazon link a few
Amazon.
times.
I use the Amazon.
Oh, Amazon? Yeah.
Heavy shopping on the Amazon.
I use that shit too.
Yeah, so we should
check that.
at least replenish our own beer money.
And thousands of others have put money in there too. We just don't know it.
That's right. To the millions and millions of Fiesta football fans. This is Fantasy Football Fiesta fans.
It's growing.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So real quick, I don't know how. Let's do one last fantasy love. I'm beginning to bold predictions and our weekly pickups for the end of it. And yeah. All right. Let's go quick with DraftKings. This football season's over, but not almost over. And you also got hockey and basketball going on, so you can still do DraftKings. Everybody, fantasy sports are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, except for New York. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitment to play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Over 1 billion will be won at DraftKings.com this year, and you can be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code Fiesta to play for free. That's Fiesta, F-I-E-S-T-A, for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you want to sit there and you like this little shindig we do here every Tuesday during the fantasy football season, go ahead and comment, share us, like us, subscribe us, tell everyone about us. Hey, look at these drunk dumbasses. They're kind of smart. And just help this thing grow. The biggest thing I want out of all this, besides this little, I'm talking about sponsorship, I'm talking about going to fantasyfootballfiesta.com. I talk about going to the support link and going to either dropping a few buckets in our Patreon page, or shopping at our Amazon link, or going to our YouTube page, Fantasy Football Fiesta, and going to the tip jar there. But ultimately, I want this thing to grow. I want a bunch of people chime in, to either praising us, asking us questions, or just talking shit to us. I want back and forth. I want a community here. So tell everyone about Fantasy Football Fiesta. We're going to do a whole lot of work on the off season to make it even better for you next year. And that's pretty much all I got for sponsorship love and just fantasy football love. And we're thankful for everyone that did watch and pay attention to us. And hooray! That's it for the end of Fantasy Football Fiesta for this year. For as far as me talking about that stuff, we're gonna get into the results of our bold predictions for last week, and we all were wrong in them, just so you know. And then we're gonna do our weekly pick'ems for last week. So said Osweiler would have more fantasy points than Philip Rivers. He was wrong.
Oh, yeah, that didn't work out. I said double the points, too. Yeah, that was bad.
Did you say double? I don't know if I heard double. Here's the problem with being extremely drunk is my handwriting's 10 times worse than it normally is. That's what that word is, doubles. They're right.
That's what that word is.
My handwriting was horrible. I was trying to read it on the way home. I'm like, the hell? I'm on the train. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, man, it was horrible. So, yeah, you said he would. They had this. They were even. They were fairly even on yards, but Osweiler had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, while Rivers had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So that right there was a tipping point. So you were wrong on that. Jason said Chargers would outscore Broncos defense. That was not true.
How did that not come true? We had 5 turnovers.
Right, but you guys gave up a shit ton of yards and more points, dumbass.
God damn.
Jesus, what are you talking about? I was like, they did that. I said Green Bay's running back to outscore Minnesota's running backs. That wasn't right. That was wrong. That didn't happen. We're all done. Hooray!
Fiesta!
Fiesta! All right. So that's that. Now I want to go into our weekly pick'ems.
All right. I like this part.
Yeah. So we all said, all right. So here we go. We had Jets at Bills. Me and Aaron said the Jets. We were fucking wrong on that one. Bills won, so me and Aaron were wrong. Jason was right. You two said the Colts. I said the Titans. You two were right. They decided to muster a win at the end.
This is how we do it.
Oh, God damn, really? We all said Bengals. We were all right. Aaron said the Browns. We said the Steelers. Me and Jason said the Steelers. We were smart. He was dumb.
Browns.
Panthers. We all said Panthers. It was Buccaneers at Panthers. We all said Panthers. We were right. Cardinals at Seahawks. Jason was the only one that got that right. Me and Aaron were grossly wrong on that one.
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
Oh, man, I just... All right, so the next one is Broncos at Chargers. Per my horrible typing, Aaron had the Broncos. I had the Broncos.
Jesus.
Anyway.
So we were all wrong then. Perfect.
You were all wrong. Me and Aaron were right. Jason, you stuck with your team. You were wrong. The funny thing that happened before the show, this is how gone I was last week. I got your info on far as who you picked for the thing, Jason. I didn't write it down, so I had to go back and look at the last look at the video to see who you actually chose.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, who did Jason pick in this last one? So it was Vikings at Packers. Aaron picked the Vikings. We picked the Packers. We were wrong. He was right. So let's look at this here. I was 5-3. Jason, you were 5-3. And Aaron, you were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. Yeah. 4. You were 4-4. Which means on the season, let's look at this. On the season as a whole, you were 71 and 65.
Not bad.
That'll do. Slightly better than McCoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, you were, let's see, that's...
Did I have 60?
5. You had your 64 and 72. Is that right? That's a hard thing to do to pick the right people to win. It's hard. I broke 60, yay! I'm 3 and 73.
Coming up the rear. Tarnell.
Whoa. You know what we got to do next year? Write this down, Tarnell.
I'm coming up the rear. What?
What we got to do next year? Have a fourth one where we're just flipping a coin.
What do you mean?
So all three of us pick, and then the coin picks the last one.
Oh, jeez. Huh. Oh, interesting.
Well,
We'll do that.
yeah. I don't like losing more than the coin.
I know, right? The coin's smarter than me.
Maybe
All
we
right.
should be better at picking.
Shut your mouth.
Yep. All right. So, what do you guys have to say about Oh wow, under an hour. So, do you guys want to do your entire playoff bracket, or do you want to, or how do you want to talk about that? I know we're not gonna come back next week. Probably gonna be working on doing some best of stuff. But any other prediction? Wait, what did I? Let me go back to what my prediction was. I'll go back and look at it. But I swore I said Green Bay, Seattle, Houston, and Pittsburgh. And then it'll be Pittsburgh over Denver, Houston over New Orleans. Houston over New England, sorry. Then Pittsburgh. Then I said Seattle, Green Bay is going to lose to. That'd end up being, what's it? Carolina, Seattle. That'd be Carolina, Seattle. What? I wrote that wrong. I didn't. Seattle.
Erase.
And Carolina against Pittsburgh. And then Carolina comes out on top. Cam is the MVP. You guys want to make any predictions about how the playoffs are going to go?
You want to write out brackets for us?
Um,
Well, we're not going to come back and review them. So
We could do it. We could do a Super Bowl one and kind of go over the brackets.
well, okay. This week you've got Houston, KC, Houston, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Seattle, Minnesota, Green Bay, Washington.
Okay, so I'll pick Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Seattle, and Washington.
Okay. So you've got Seattle at Carolina.
And I'll go with Carolina.
Okay. And then you've got Washington against Arizona.
And I'll go with Arizona.
Okay. So you've got KC and Pittsburgh. So Pitt will be at Denver.
I'll go with Pittsburgh.
Okay. KC at New England.
I'm going to go with Kansas City.
All right. And then KC. So now we got KC, Pittsburgh.
We'll go with KC.
Okay.
you're putting KC in the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
All
I
right.
actually like Pittsburgh, but we'll see. We'll go with Kansas City.
All right. Carolina, Arizona.
And Carolina. And then Carolina taking it.
Carolina getting it. Who's the MVP?
Um,
Whoa, Pam. All right. Now we go on to the last dickhead here. Aaron?
Oh, me.
Yeah. All right.
How dare both of you? You both are fucking
All right.
stupid assholes.
All right.
chasing
So
the Super
Green Bay,
Bowl.
Washington. What do you have for Green Bay, Washington?
Green Bay, Washington. I think I like Washington there.
All right, Washington. Seattle and Minnesota.
Seattle.
All right.
This is the Who Cares conference.
All right. Hey, all right. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati.
Pittsburgh,
Okay. KC, Houston.
Houston.
All right. Now, next round, you've got Washington at Arizona,
Arizona,
Seattle at Carolina.
Carolina,
All right. Pittsburgh at Denver.
Pittsburgh at Denver. Well, Denver.
All right. Houston at
You threw me off because I thought you were going to say Patriots.
no, Houston.
But, wait a minute.
Houston at New England.
New England,
All right. Carolina against Arizona.
Arizona,
Yeah, Arizona winning at Carolina. Interesting. Denver, New England at Denver.
that's Denver.
All right. All right. So Super Bowl 50, which is in San Jose, it's in Santa Clara, and up in the Bay and the Yay area.
Mm-hmm.
50. Super Bowl L, Arizona at Denver. Who do you have?
I got Denver.
And who is the MVP?
Chris Harris Jr.
you
Chris? You
idiot.
really think they're going to
No corner ever gets MVP.
Jesus Christ, what's he going to do? He's going to fucking sit there and,
He
like...
does when there's pick sixes involved.
He's going to be picking his butt at home watching the game.
Christ. All right. Well, we got this in. This is interesting. All right. Well, that's it. All we got left. That's an interesting little playoff little thing there. All right. So that's it for this. We'll see you around at the Super Bowl. I'll probably throw out a best of in here at some point in time. One or two best ofs. And for Aaron and Jason, this is Tarnell. See you at Super Bowl 50. We'll be broadcasting live, talking a bunch of shit. We are out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.